Hi, I'm Ben Dildine, and I'm a cancer survivor. In 1957, I was working at this place. I was working with cryogenics, and I had a tank of oxygen, weighed 500 pounds, that I lost control of, and it fell across my foot, broke my toe, and they put it in a cast, but I couldn't take off from work. They put me in the office to work while the foot healed. Well, here I was, I had 3 children, and I couldn't miss work long enough for it to heal. So one day I was walking down Belmont Avenue in Chicago, and I seen a foot doctor there, and my foot was hurting so bad that I stopped off and went in and had him to check my foot, because it was a big ball. My toe was black. He drilled a hole through my toenail, and he thought that was blood under that, but it was nothing came out. Anyway, he looked at me kind of funny. He said, I want you to go around the corner. He said, I'm going to call, make an appointment. I want you to go around there and go to this doctor, have him x-ray it. So right away I went, and he x-rayed my foot. He asked me who my family doctor was. And I told him, I said, Dr. Carl Guston is my doctor. And he said, he's a friend of mine. So I went from there home, which took me about 30 minutes. And by the time I walked in the door, Dr. Gusson called me. And Dr. Gusson told me, he said, Ben, he said, you've got to come in the hospital. He said, I've already made the reservation. Come in Sunday, and surgery will be Monday morning. We must remove your big toe. And I told him, I said, Doc, I said, I've got 3 kids to support. I said, can you put it off for 2 or 3 weeks till I get some more checks in to catch up on some bills? He said, no. He said, it's got to be now. He said, it's urgent. And so I went in Sunday. In the meantime, though, on Saturday night, we had a prayer meeting at church. And our church, it was a praying church. And everybody was praying. God moved. And we put out prayer requests everywhere. But I went in Sunday and got prepared for the surgery. They removed my toes Monday morning. And I still wasn't told what was wrong with me. While I was I still didn't know what was wrong. I was in my bed in a room, and I still was puzzled because my wife, my pastor and his wife, they all came in. They was looking at me puzzled-like, or had a different look than I'd ever seen them. And the doctor I found out had told them that I had cancer, that I was eating completely up my left leg, and they wanted to remove it Thursday. They remove it close to my hip to try to prolong the growth of cancer. Well, that day came and went, and Tuesday, my mother came in, sat by my side. My wife came in after work, and different ones were just coming in and going. Well, I still didn't realize how serious it was. And I know they seemed more emotional than they usually were. But Tuesday came and went. Wednesday, my doctor came in, and he looked at me, stood there, smiled, and said, Ben, he said, tell Carol, that was my wife, that you're going to be going home. He said, we don't know how we're going to change the books at the hospital because they are not going to believe this. He said, we're trying to figure it out. He said, so I'm going to have to change the books from cancer to bone tumor. And as he stood and stared at me, He said, I don't know what happened. He said, but there was 3 doctors that examined you and found that you were eaten up with cancer. He said, so? He said, the hospital won't believe it. He said, we're going to change it to bone tumor. And he said, now, I don't know what happened. I looked at him. I said, Doc, now this doctor was a Christian, but he didn't believe in great healings. And I said, Doc, I said, I know what happened, and you know what happened. He was smiling, patting my foot. I said, God touched me and healed me. He looked at me and smiled and turned around and walked out. And he got a hold of my wife, said, we can't find a thing wrong with Ben. Said as soon as he heals, he said he'd come home. My doctor, my family, my church, they all knew that I was dying. My doctor had pronounced a death sentence on me. But while I was laying there, supposedly with death sentence on me, my church had enough faith that God was going to heal me, even though they told me that I was going to die, that they voted me in as youth pastor. And they had that much faith that God was going to move. And I want to give glory to God because I have now celebrated my 50th healing anniversary. That shows that God, when he does something, that he does it the right way, permanently. And I want to give glory to God today for this.